So I need to make a key for this 2019 BMW. All keys are lost. I'm sorry, I said 2018. All keys are lost. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually remove the ECU here. We have 6 connectors that we need to undo, and you have to undo them in order for them to come off. And then we're going to see about pulling it out. So I got the DME out here. I got my CAS here, and I have my software open, and I see here that they do have OBD read and they have the sim. So maybe I could have already read it when it was in the car. I doubt it because I don't have a, I don't have a key. But let's try to do this one. So I'm gonna open this up, check the manual. It should just be 5 wires or so. Okay, yeah. So we have 2 powers, 1 ground, and then the data. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make those connections real quick and see if we can't get this guy read. Alright, so I've got my connections made, and just a little warning. The pins on this guy are very delicate. Just pushing in the connector and you can just mangle them to crap. So just be very careful pushing on the connectors. So I do have it hooked up. I do have power going to the CAS. And let's see here. So it says it did identify correctly. Okay, there is some information. And I'm going to go ahead and read a backup because this will read the flat or the micro and the EEPROM for me. And I'm pretty sure I can just find the ISN in there. Once I have it backed up with Kess, I might actually, I can't finish the key today where I'm at because I have to take out to do some other stuff. So I might actually take this back to my shop and see if the im608 will read it. I think it's got it in its options. And I think as long as you have the that little orange square thing, I think that you can read this. So we might try that when I get back to the shop later. But anyway, there goes reading. So I'm going to end this for now. Pick up later. So I have the ECU backed up. I have it put back in the car. I loaded up Auto. I read the VIN. I connected to the vehicle. I went into the engine control, and I went to read ISN. And it said it would try to read the ISN through OBD, and that it had to do some programming to do that, which I'm guessing that it's doing right now. So I had to hook up a my not jump box, but a battery maintainer to keep it over 13 volts. And I have it trying to read the ISN through OBD right now. And it says it's completed. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit yes. So this is going to take quite a while. It says it's entering into programming. It's going to take about 30 minutes. So I'm not real sure what's going to happen. I've never done it like this before. I'm experimenting since I have a backup of the ECU. But I am curious to see how well it will work. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. If anything crazy happens, I'll pick back up. All right, so it went through all 5 steps. I don't think it quite took 30 minutes, maybe, but it said it was successful, and then it went into the EEPROM data read, which it is trying to finish up now. We are at 85%. So let's see what happens here. I reckon everything was successful since we're reading the EEPROM, and we've made it this far, so I don't see why it would fail at this point. So pretty interesting. I didn't know it was going to be able to do it through OBD, but I guess that makes sense because when I read it with my Kess, I done it basically through ABD. I did it through the data line. So I do want to save the file. So right now it's saving it. User data, vehicle info. See, I don't like how they don't put the VIN number. It just says F chassis EPROM. But if you save a lot, you're gonna have a lot of them. I don't feel like getting all fancy at the moment, so I'm just gonna hit save, and I'll deal with it later because I'm gonna take it off of this and put it on my computer. Right now, I just want to get through this job. So it has the EPROM. Now it says it's restoring the coding data. And I guess it's going to give me the ISN after that. The ISN is in the EPROM, which I did already have it. I kind of wanted to experiment with this process. All right, so there is our ISN 8F. Yep. I think I found that in my file. On my file, I had it. Let me see if I don't have it open no more. I had tried to sniff it out. It wasn't in the location that I normally saw it at, but I did somewhat find it, and this is what I found. I didn't write out the whole thing. I just found this first part, and I remember that, so I know that I did find the right spot at least. But okay, so that is done. So I'm going to let this finish this part, and then we're going to go into the key make. I'm not sure what else this has to do, but I'm going to go ahead and, oh, well, it's done. I was going to say I'm going to go ahead and pause it and let it finish, but since it's done, let's get out of here. And get out of here. See, that's where I went to do everything. So now let's go here. We're going to make the key. And what do we want to do here? We want to do key operations. We want to do key learning. We want to do special functions. Let's see. No. Vehicle information, EPROM operation. Let's just try key learning. Processing, learning, load secret key file, manual input key, secret key learning. I don't know what that wants me to do. Enable, disable. So if we come back here, if we just come out of here and we go back here, this will walk us through it. And it basically will hold your hand through the whole process, which is, at this point, that's all I really need. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit lost all keys. Yeah, requires network, which everybody has found out recently. they pretty much force you to always be connected or you can't use it, which is unfortunate because some of the places I go to don't really have service. Like you're going into a building a lot of times, like a parking deck I was in the other day. Even here, I'm down in like a hole, and I just don't always have good reception here. Luckily, it's working today pretty good. So right now, it's backing up the coding. Going to modify EPROM automatically. So please disassemble the EPROM chip connected to the programmer. So I have to open up the FEM. And the BDC. We don't need the BDC. We just want the FEM. Okay, I'm going to hit OK. But I haven't put it in there yet. I probably should have done that before I hit OK. Right now it says building connection with the programmer. Chip not connected. Okay, so let me go, pull the FEM out and connect the chip. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the FEM module. Somebody has already knocked that off, but basically you pull that away. Let's go ahead and move this carpet as well. Put that in the back seat there. And right here will be our FEM. I see somebody's already done that, so I wonder if somebody's tried to make a key to this before. All right, there's is our module that we need to take off. It's got this little shield here that's held on by T20. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this off. Move this all the way. Yep. Okay, and then we're gonna, should just come off after that. Got a couple of clips there. That's okay. This should be out of the way. So I don't have my my bench tool for this. I can't remember where I put it. So what I'm gonna have to do is I have to take it out. I have to read the EEPROM, then I will have to put it back and take it out again and put it back again. Kind of annoying without the bench tool. So the worst one to try to remove is the big main battery cable. You just have to make sure you pull this little red tab out first. So when it's installed, this will be pushed in. You have to pull this red one all the way out and then push this down, and it will come out fairly easy. But if you do not do it properly, it's very, very difficult to get it out. Got a few more at the top here. And once we have everything disconnected, there is another T20 screw right here. So now there's just this T20. We have all the connectors off, and we just have to undo that. I don't know how well the camera's been picking up it like that. So. And as you can see, it's fairly long. Once that is gone, then you can just pull the whole box right out. And I'm going to go ahead and open it. I don't like to do it, but I always wanted to just kind of, I know the EEPROM is right here. I kind of always want to just drill a damn hole in there and tape it like I used to do some of the skim module. I feel like that will be less damaging than trying to open it. Alright, so I've got this one coming along nicely. What I done was I started at this corner, and keep in mind this thing has these little prongs. Like this is the back cover. It's got little prongs that are clipped to the front cover. You can see one here. So mainly it's just got a bunch of these all the way around. Typically if you can release these kind of in series, you'll do okay. Sometimes they're a little bit harder than others. This time's not too bad. So like you see these things, like you see these, people think that these are what's holding it. It's not necessarily though. It's more so the clips. It's more so the little tabs, I guess they are, not really clips, but it's usually a little bit more of them holding it. Though these do have a little bit of has a little bit to do with it. All right, so I always feel bad because sometimes you'll mar it like that, and I've had them actually crack. Like we just lift them up like that and it just cracks. That's why I was thinking maybe sometimes it'd be better to do a hole, but this one is actually coming apart fairly nicely. So just slowly working my way around. Okay, so there we go. So not too bad. That one wasn't too bad. Now we just need to remove these fuses. Okay, so now that we got this bad boy open, we will see our chip right here. So let's just go ahead and set it up pretty high. Let's do like a 6 or something. That should be good. The nozzle I got on here is kind of small for this. Man, that guy did not want to let go. Let's move him over here. Out of the way now. So now that we got him off, I just need to find my adapter. I've got the EEPROM out of the board and in this little ZIF socket here, plugged into the XP40. I'm going to go ahead and hit yes to try again. Hopefully it goes and connects okay. Alright, so it did. That is good. So it says it backed up the EEPROM file for me. So that's the backup. Okay, it successfully done whatever it was doing. Programming will begin. I think I have to put this back on the board and back in the car. I misreading that step, but that's what we have to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. I do have to clean up this board a little bit. That's kind of rough. Okay, I got the FEM back in there. You can see I have it in there without the case. We can do that because it's a nice rubber backing here. There's nothing in there that can touch that to short it out. Let's see if we have a connection this time. We did. Now we have a download. And hopefully with this download we can do the key. I need to get it above 13. It might not go. Oh, there we go. We're above 13 now. So now it's programming something. It says don't touch any buttons. 4%. So I won't pause this while this goes through. It's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, so the whatever it was doing is done. Now I need to remove the FEM again. I need to let it write the original data back, and then I'll assemble the FEM completely and stick it back in, and then that should be good to go for this. I shouldn't have to fiddle with that anymore. And then the final step is just writing the key, thankfully. So let me go tackle that. All right, so the chip is in. I have it reading, so it's going to write back chip not connected. So we have a bad connection here. Just going to wiggle it around a little bit, see if I can't get it to connect. So I'm just going to try to push it down while it's writing this time. And there we go. So it did go ahead and write this time. And you see, I just kind of had some pressure on there. Sorry. All right, so the FEM is back together. EEPROM soldered back. So now it's time to install it back into the car. And this is the final time. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it, stick it in there, and we're going to move on to the key programming. All right, I have moved into the car. We've got the EEPROM back. That's back, so let's hit OK. It's going to restore all the coding.
Want to pick which sneakers that I'm going to marry.
Let me turn that down. Wow. Key learning will begin. Okay, let me stop messing with the radio there. So we have the DME ISN. It didn't remember it for me. So I have to stop this video. I'm going to go look in my video for it and we'll put it back up. All right, so there's the ISN. I'm going to hit OK. So everything was successful. There is our password, our DME CAS password, and there is our EWS5 password. So we'll go ahead and hit OK. There is our keys. So I'm just going to hit lost all keys. Put new key close to start induction coil. The frequency is 433. So I'm going to try lost all keys again. I placed the key next to the coil. So, failed to write key. Let me go see what else I got. Alright, so I see what the problem was. I had this style key, which I thought it was, but I had the 315 version, which I think was the problem. I didn't realize it was in the wrong bag, but when I was checking it on my frequency detector, I see that it was the wrong one. Okay, so we're going to try this again. We're going to try key 4. Lost a key. I'm going to hold it right there like it's supposed to be. I'm going to hit OK. And hopefully there's no problems this time. There we go. Step 1's done. Step 2 in progress. Car is doing something. Key written successfully. Please close the key. Oh, place the key. How did I get please out of that? Anyway, it says place the key to the start inductor. Switch the ignition off. Oh, it says press the switch for 10 seconds. The key can work properly. Okay, so the switch is on right now. I don't know if they want me to hold it for 10 seconds while the, off like this, or turn it off and then hold it for 10. I think usually I turn it off and hold it for 10. I can't remember. There's so many steps you got to do with cars these days. But I'm going to do it both ways. Okay, so I held it for 10 off. Now I'm going to hold it for 10 on. Or, give or take. Give or take. It switched on no problem, and I don't see any immobilizer codes. So I think it's good. I'm going to go ahead and try to start it. Okay, it started up. It's running. I'm happy. Customer's going to be happy. I think this job's done. I just have to put that stuff back. I don't see any engine lights. I know on a lot of the 2016, 2017, a lot of times you'll have an engine light and you'll have to take it out of transport mode. Usually those are the MEVD ECUs. This was the MG1 ECU. So, I guess that's part of the difference. And, obviously it's a different remote here, the 2018 version.